Showtime.
Hey, Amir, how you doing, buddy? Great to see you.
Please subscribe to Sharonatsea Travel. Thank you. Bye. Peace.
Well, good evening, everyone. I always like watching the scene with Maxwell there.
I know, sometimes I get caught up when I'm watching that intro,
And all of a
the
sudden we're
intro
here.
video, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute, we gotta go. I gotta turn on the microphone and get ready to click over to us and all that kind of stuff. What's going on, guys? Happy Monday to you all. Sharon, I mean, it's Monday. It's not just any Monday. I mean, come on, let's. I mean, it's September 11th, right? Hold on, I got messages coming in hot. Who's sending me messages here? Oh my God, what is this? Okay, sorry, I got a buddy of mine sending me fantasy football messages. The show is starting right now. My friend who will remain nameless, John Klakowski. But it's Monday. It's September 11th.
It is.
22 years later, and it still hits home, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You were saying earlier, it seems like yesterday or something.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's been 22 years. I mean, when I think about it, it just, I still just remember the morning that everything kind of broke loose, you know, watching it on the TV, and it really just seems like it was like not that long ago.
I know, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, you know, because you sit here for so long and you're kind of just going about life and you're doing your thing, and then all of a sudden it's September, and the first week of September, and next thing you know, you start seeing like TV shows about it, right? And they're replaying the same thing you watched last year and the year before, 10 years earlier, or whatever the case is. And you start seeing the shows and you're reliving it and you're talking about it. And it's just crazy. And I know that people are commenting. There's more comments in the chat about the Monday Night Football game. So I guess it's one of those things where you've been, I don't know if we're conditioned to not think about it as much anymore, or if it still has the same feeling. Yeah, Debbie Rain says, I think everyone remembers where they were when it happened. Carla McClendon remembers it like yesterday.
Yeah, I remember we were just getting up. We returned from going away that weekend. We got up that morning, and we were just still in the bedroom, and the TV was on in the bedroom, and all of a sudden, boom.
Yeah, Aspen ATC says, I'll never forget it. All I had to do was walk out the front door, and I could see the smoke. Wow, that is unbelievable. That is unbelievable. Howie Cruz said, yeah, it was quite a day out here in the Northeast. I was much more in tune years ago. But the more removed we get, the harder it is to relive it. Pam S. is 15 minutes away from Ground Zero. She was in the classroom when she heard about it. The Ship Show remembers exactly. Yes, it is wild. It is crazy. And of course, I'd be remiss if I didn't acknowledge that Matt Bird has already commented on my small but feisty little beard that's growing out here. This is in honor of nothing, so it's nothing special. It's just me being lazy now that I don't have to show up anywhere in particular in the mornings. So Matt says it's a starter Yukon Cornelius beard.
Yeah, I don't know how long this will be staying.
Yes. So not to change subjects too quickly, but so anyway, I mean, hey, we're still thinking about it. We're still acknowledging it. And remember, next time you're traveling somewhere and you're in the TSA or you're in line at the airport and they ask you to take off your shoes or remove your laptop or pour out your expensive perfume because it's 6 ounces instead of 3.75. That's the right amount?
No.
4.75.
No.
How many ounces?
3.4.
3.4. I was close. Whatever it is. Just remember why they're doing it, and that's all you can do. So that's the scoop. That's the deal. Mary Barkley, thank you so much for the super chat.
Thank you, Mary.
Mary is on the Carnival celebration. She can't hear us or see us, but she's thinking about us. Mary, it's probably best that you can't see us because now you can't see this beard that I have working. It's not very, I don't know. I feel a little bit older. I feel like if I went like this and I walked into the room and said, hello, my name is Jimmy, and I'll be your professor for the semester, that is believable.
I don't know if Jimmy is a professor name.
Professor Jimmy, nothing wrong with that.
It would be James for a professor.
Maybe. Professor James. Let's see. Daniel Field says, Jamie, I shave 3 to 4 times a month. Those are goals. Yeah, I just got tired of doing it. I figured I'd let it ride. Good point made, Jamie. Thank you, John and Diamond. By the way, guys, congrats on getting on your first Royal Caribbean cruise. Yeah. Go check out John and Diamond's YouTube channel. They just put out, I think today, They boarded the Freedom of the Seas, very popular Royal Caribbean ship, Freedom of the Seas, their first royal cruise. So always fun to hit up a new cruise line, a new ship. So that is awesome. That is awesome. So we mentioned, and we're just talking a little bit while people join the chat and the live, but we mentioned football yesterday. It was devastating. How upset were you that your Chargers lost?
Well, I was upset for you. I know it's the whole tone of the house changes at the end of the game. If the Chargers lose, you go one way, you don't really talk. Matthew goes storming off another way, doesn't talk, and it's like,
Yes.
like, oh my god, it's like the whole house.
And it's a 1 o'clock game. For us, it's a 1 o'clock game, right? It's a late game. So for the East Coast folks, the game starts at 4. It ends at 7, and it's almost bedtime. You could technically just go in and be cranky for 2 hours and go to bed. But for me, the game ends. It's like 4 o'clock, and I'm like, what do I do now? Because I'm miserable and I don't want to do anything else.
I think you did go to bed, not sure.
Not too long afterwards. I watched some highlights and I felt the pain, and that was it. That was all that I could do. John and Diamond said, thanks for the shout out. Oh, no worry. Can't wait for the AZ meetup and the New Year's Eve cruise. That's great timing. Let's mention that right now, guys. If you're in the Arizona area and you want to hang out for a couple hours, maybe have a cocktail, maybe have a taco, Sharon, something like that. Join us September 23rd, about 3 to 6 in the afternoon at the Salt Taco and Tequila Bar in Glendale, Arizona at Westgate. We will be teaming up with our friend Hani from the Beach Life. He's going to have a number of folks there that follow him on some social media stuff. We're going to have local friends here joining us, see old friends, meet some new ones, and of course have some tacos and tequila. September 23rd, 3 to 6. It's going to be a fun little local meetup. If you can't make it, there'll be others. Don't worry about it. But just something we want to do here locally.
Yeah.
So that'll be kind of fun.
Hopefully it will cool down a little bit.
That'll be kind of fun.
Well over 100 here.
It is. It's a scorcher.
Right now, it's still over 100.
Yes, I think it'll be just perfect by then.
I hope so.
Hopefully, knock on wood. And then, and guys, I know that we're going to start talking a little bit about tonight's topic here in a few minutes. But if you've been around the cruising community for a while, if you're a friend of the channel, if you're friends with other people in the chat and things like that, a little personal announcement we're going to make a little bit later on in the live stream. So stick around for that. And we'll keep you abreast of all situations going on. So that's what we got cooking. But right now, Sharon, tonight's topic, are cruise ships, are they unsafe? Are they safe? Are they unsafe? Is it safe to cruise? I'm not talking about the ship itself sinking or anything like that. We're not really talking about cruise ports. We're just talking about safety on the ship.
Yeah. Well, I always feel safe on the cruise ship. I mean, there are different instances of things that do happen on cruise ships. Some of it's, I'm sure a lot of it does happen, and some of it maybe are stories that maybe, are more one-sided, you might say.
So you're not hearing the whole story? Is that what you're saying?
Maybe. But I personally always feel safe, and I'm sure some things do happen at times, because any time you get a lot of people together, crowds of people, things are bound to happen. Someone's going to get out of control. Something's going to happen. And surprisingly, that more things don't happen on cruise ships because there's so many people. We've seen. Look at big cities and things, all of the crime and just different things that go on. So anytime you get a lot of people in an area, something's bound to happen.
Something's going to happen. Well, we see a lot of vlogs and blogs and stories lately, and a lot of stuff talks about the negative side of cruising. I mean, okay, we know that's what gets the views, that's what gets the attention, and if your story doesn't have a title or a headline that's going to make people go, oh my God, I've got to read this, then we know where it's going to go. But like, for instance, in the Facebook group that we have, Cruising Carl with Kids, it's got like a little over 50,000 people in it. We don't talk about it much. It's a very separate world from what we do on a regular basis. It's something Sharon created a long time ago because we love cruising with our kid, and it's a great place for families and people to get info and share it. But there's a lot of talk about people, families, they hear one story and they freak out and they think it's going to happen to them, and they hear horrible tales of things like that on cruise ships.
Safe to go on a cruise with their kids. There's a lot of new cruisers in that group, and
exactly.
And so they hear these things, and it kind of scares them away.
Mm-hmm. Well, now, and also a lot of people say, oh, well, that's because on cruise lines you never hear about anything because they don't have to report anything because they're registered in other places. Well, it's back in 2010, they had the Cruise Vessel Safety and Security Act or something like that, the CVSSA, amended in 2014, and that's where cruise lines by law that are porting, embarking, disembarking, or port one way or the other in the U.S. have to report major crimes to the FBI. Records are kept from the department or by the Department of Transportation and things like that. And so they do have a record of that. Now, I don't know how totally accurate things are, but you can look online and do your research and find out stuff. There was one thing, I was researching a little bit of it, saying, hey, you want to talk about this tonight? I'm trying to get a few facts so we know a little bit about what we're talking about. And there was one thing that I saw. There was a blog. And I have it written down or typed out because I wanted to read it. And this is kind of what I mean by people, like you're not embellishing, but you're inflating it so that it sounds a little more exciting than maybe it really is. It says there were 32. This is like a statistic website that I found. There were 32 reported cases of homicide, suspicious death, or missing persons aboard cruise ships from 2007 to 2021. This statistic paints a stark picture of the reality of cruise ship crime, highlighting the prevalence of homicide, suspicious death, and missing persons cases over the past 14 years. The prevalence? 14 years. 32 cases in 14 years? Okay, let's look at a few numbers here. How many people are cruising? I mean, listen, go back to 2019. Almost 30 million people. 2018, 28 million, 26.7, 25.2 in 2016. This year, they're expecting 31, almost 32 million people to cruise. And wow. You're going to tell me that
Look, I was just watching it go up through 2027.
Oh, it's going up. It's going up. Like but I mean, they're like 32 cases. Okay, well, one case is too many, right? But I mean, come on, you're talking about prevalent with all those people. That's kind of an odd type of deal. They talk about assault. Now, assault's a horrible thing, right? And when you think about assault, you're thinking maybe of two different types of assault, and one of which is something you never want to happen to you or a family member, sexual assault, and the other one is a physical assault. You've seen the stories about people fighting. There are assaults on cruise lines and things like that. An FBI report stated that since 2015, there have been just over 450 sexual assault reports from cruise passengers. That's not a small number by any means. But, Sharon said, for each one of these reports, there's going to be two sides. There's probably alcohol involved. There could be confusion, misunderstanding, and there could be bad people that are on these ships making bad decisions. But I venture to say most of them are probably started and ended with alcohol. Probably, or something like that.
Likely.
Talk about a few more stats real quick. I don't want to get too deep into the stats, but we wanted to have a few stats to go over with you guys here. On the live stream, we took some information and looked at 2022. This is what was reported to the FBI through the Cruise Vessel Security Safety Act. And I know you guys are impressed with us pulling up these numbers and stats. Come on, you got to be blown away right now. So from January 1 to December 31, 2022, 0 homicides reported, right? You'll notice on the left side, it shows cruise lines, and then it gives each one of these criminal activities. So 0 homicides reported, 1 suspicious death was reported for the whole year. People die on cruise ships. We know that. And sometimes they're going to know why, but suspicious death, I don't know what category that comes in, but missing U.S. citizens, 3 reported. Now, I know you see stuff about somebody fell overboard. What happened there, but really, when it comes to people going overboard, in almost all cases, they have jumped, or very rarely, it is an accident, usually caused by them drinking and stuff like that. 0 kidnappings. Okay, that's cool. 6 assault with serious bodily injury. 7 total. 6 from the passengers, 1 from crew. There's a category called firing or tampering with the vessel. That's 0. That's good. It's good to know people aren't tampering with the vessel. John and Diamond said that is one detailed Excel sheet. Thank you so much. I'm glad you appreciate that. Theft. Now, here's something that's kind of ridiculous. One category is theft of over $10,000 has to be reported to the FBI and tracked. And that was 3 crew members and 0 passengers. Sharon, I don't know how often you bring $10,000 with you, but I guess it could be jewelry or something like that.
Do. But yeah, it could be jewelry. You know, some people bring, although you shouldn't bring expensive jewelry with you.
Well, I mean, yeah,
do.
I'm not bringing. I know that I think my wedding ring cost a couple $100 20 something years ago.
But yeah, that's one thing people even.
Yeah, don't bring your expensive jewelry. Bring the fake stuff. Leave the good stuff at home, guys. That's all I'm going to tell you. Oh, and finally, one last stat. Obviously, this is serious, so we're not joking around about this thing. But sexual assault for the full year, there were 59 sexual assaults reported. And just to point this out, 59 were passenger related. 24 more were crew related. All right, so obviously that's a concern. But these things are happening within the cruise ships and on the cruise lines. And 4 were other, whatever that category is, for a total of about 87 total sexual assaults. But one thing I want to point out, guys, and people will bash different cruise lines because one's this and one's that. Take a look. Carnival, 24 passengers. Royal Caribbean, 19 passengers. So stuff's happening everywhere. Don't think
of them are up
that one's any better, any different than the other. Stuff gets, I think, talked about more. There's more video, there's more camera, there's some more issues.
Cruise lines, so it makes sense that their numbers are going to be higher.
Yes, totally. So I mean, so that's kind of a big deal. And when they talk about theft, now I know the report is only theft of over $10,000. I mean, yeah, nobody that we know is carrying $10,000. Now, hopefully, you're carrying 10 grand off the ship because you won big in the casino, right?
Well,
that would be cool.
That might be, yeah. Well.
That would be cool. I mean, I walked off the Prima with about half of that time.
You did,
didn't I? That's right. Luckily, thanks to Brian Kearns, I might have had less if he wasn't there. But that's a long story.
Tackle you down and
if he
tell
didn't
you, get
wrestle me
to
get me out of the casino. Yeah, John Diamond said they thought the stats would have been higher, but he's not mad about that. Let's see. What kind of yeah, Debbie Rain said, I got lucky and I did carry 10K off the Miracle one time. See, that'll happen. Tesla mom walked off with 3K. Theft over 10K on Carnival is tough. Oh, that's a smart aleck comment. I see what you're doing there. Hello, Riding with Larry. What is going on? He says, I always feel safe traveling with the Sharon@Sea cruise crew. That is awesome. Thank you for saying that, Sharon, that Carnival and Royal have the most ships. Wendy Johnston, well, we pointed out, even when we put the thumbnail for the video tonight into our own Sharon@Sea group, and we said our cruise line, our cruise ship's unsafe, or cruise ship safe, whatever it was, I can't even remember it now. But one person said no, except Carnival, right? That person can remain nameless, but the Carnival, they all have stuff go on. They all have their issues. They all have their problems. So they're all over the place. That is for sure. So, Kathy L, I won $4,000 once on a 68-cent bet. I put it right in the safe. There you go. Keeping it safe. You got to keep it safe. Let me see. What else did I have here? Let me get back to a little bit of my notes here.
That's a good thing. If you have anything valuable, put it in the safe somewhere safe.
We'll talk about that here in a minute.
You shouldn't leave anything valuable just laying out on the counter or anything. Even if no one, you trust everyone and things normally wouldn't get stolen. It's just like tempting to people, and you just never know.
There was a report. I found one thing that talked about back in 2016. I found some numbers. I know that's a little ways ago, but I couldn't find too much that was newer than that. And I don't know if it's how much it tracks it or whatever, but there was a report that said in 2016, approximately 450,000 cruisers worldwide reported some sort of theft at some level during their cruise. 450,000. Now we took a look at
small.
Yeah, I took a look at the how many cruisers. So if you look at 2016, I know people are blown away by us using graphs here on tonight's live stream. They can't believe it. Just over 25 million people cruise. So that's like 1 in every 56 cruisers in 2016 reported some kind of theft. Does that seem high? 1 in 56?
To me,
I mean, if
kind
that
of,
means 25 cabins on your deck,
yeah.
one
But
person in there.
You don't. I guess with that too,
Probably reported
you
something.
don't know if it was like just on the cruise ship, or maybe it could have been some kind of theft or something, even just throughout the cruise. Maybe it was something in port too.
Yeah.
Like you don't really know with that information where exactly the theft was from.
Ryan Willard said, Jamie, you must have some free time on your hands now. I love the intel. Brandoline94 said, that does seem high. Yeah, that does seem high. So, you know, I've had my pool side lounge chair stolen. No, that's a whole different thing. Someone taking your lounger, that's not considered theft. They're just borrowing it for those couple of hours. I wonder what the weirdest thing someone had stolen on a cruise ship was. Said, Wanda, cruising for food. What's up, girl? How you doing?
I was robbed in the casino before.
Yeah, Cliff Brubaker, that's true.
Everyone was
one-armed
robbed
bandit.
in the casino.
See the word what Chris said. I don't think I've ever had something stolen in 19 cruises, except I think someone took my my Del Sol T-shirt. Yeah, I don't know. Well, so you mentioned it there, like being like, what can you do to be more careful and to not advertise what you have and stuff? Trisha Nichols, what's up? Said I always lock up my valuables. Never had any issues. I'm cruising this Saturday out of Norfolk, Virginia. That is awesome. Say hi to my aunt and uncle. They live right there in Portsmouth.
I don't think we've ever, trying to think back, but I can't remember any time we've had anything stolen on a cruise.
I can't remember one time, and I mean, and maybe not in our first half of the cruises we've taken, but the second half we've certainly had things a little more valuable, cameras and laptops and stuff like that.
And we actually do leave things like that out all over the room, you know, electronics and things like that, and we've never had any issues. Our laptop, everything, never.
I mean, listen, I'm not advertising it, but it's certainly not super easy, you know, to grab either. Hold on, let me take these specs off here. Professor James in the house. I mean, like, I guess the biggest time to be careful is when you leave during the day. You leave your cabin. And number one, we still do it. We always lock our balcony door, right? So someone can't come in from the balcony next to us. Although they do have cameras along the side of the ship, so anything that happens, 95% of the time can be seen on cameras. Those are the same cameras that capture people when they jump off the ship, right? And they can see that kind of stuff going. But we often do that, and then and you got to remember that when the cabin steward's cleaning your room during the day, they prop the door open. Right? I mean, they open the door for 3 or 4 cabins. They're running in and out of these cabins, switching out linens, towels, doing their thing, tidying up, cleaning up, and all that kind of stuff. And I've had guys actually organize our electronics.
Yeah.
Right? Like just make things a little neater and cleaner, or whatever the case is.
Yeah.
And we've always had good trust with them. I've never had an issue, be it a cabin steward or anyone else, grab something. Just don't leave it out so that if someone walking by just looked and saw something right there on your bed, or you know, on the table or something like that.
Well, one
just
thing
don't make it super easy.
Too is sometimes when they're cleaning your room, they prop the door open, and you know, and they're kind of going back and forth, and you know, maybe they get sidetracked with someone or in another room for a minute, and your door's propped open, and if something's just laying out there in plain sight, you know, I would be more worried that maybe someone would walk down the hall, just see something quick that they could grab it and go, versus the cabin steward taking something or anything like that. But so you just never know. So just don't leave anything out in plain view. Another question up there somewhere.
Sue O'Connor said, use common sense. That's why they put safes in the rooms. Don't take anything expensive. That's right. Your room safe is your friend. Although sometimes I'm a little nervous. If I put something in there, I'll never remember how to get it back out again. But that's just me.
Yeah, that's where I'm going to put off any gambling winnings you have next time.
Because I won't know how to get it out.
And I'll lock it and have.
Krista H said, will people still steal your chair even if you have a towel band around it? Only if you leave it there for 45 minutes or longer on a busy sea day. How's that sound?
Yeah, I don't know. They
Mary Barkley, have a great time on the Carnival celebration.
Yes,
we love you.
enjoy,
Thanks for
Mary.
popping in. You guys have a blast. Kidder said, how many cruises have Sharon and C been on? Like 50 plus?
Yeah, I think we're up to about 50 Carnival now, and then we've been on several others. So we're at about 55, 56, I think now.
2, 3, 4.
Something like
yeah,
that.
we're pushing it.
Yeah.
We're hoping to get to 60 here within the next couple months. I'm hoping, knock on wood. And nothing's stolen so far.
No.
Except my heart every time by Sharon when I look at her and we're together. Steals my heart away every time. Let's see. Maybe door decoration theft is included in these numbers because that happens a lot.
Oh, that's true. I have heard of that.
I've heard of that, but that you get. We used to put a few things on our door, but we've really kind of gotten away from it.
Yeah.
At first, we thought it was cool to be like Sharonatsea, and this is our cabin, and then we're like, wait, we don't want anybody to know because I'll be in there. They could walk by and hear me snoring, or something noises.
We started doing that, not really so much to decorate the door. I mean, we enjoyed it, but we used to just bring some kind of a decorative sign usually and hang on the door. But we started doing that when Matthew was young enough where he started being able to leave the kids' clubs on his own and come back to the room when we didn't have to pick him up. Mm-hmm. And we did that so that it would kind of remind him where our room was, if he kind of lost track of things. So that's why we started doing it. We just kind of kept doing it forever, but probably the last year, maybe even almost 2 years now. But yeah, since we started cruising after the pandemic, I don't think we've put anything on our door.
I don't think so either. That's how we lay low. We lay low. We're low layers.
Well, no, it's just, sometimes when we pack, things have to get tossed aside that don't fit or make room for other things, and that's just not a priority anymore, I guess.
Yeah. Jose Larry, you know what's happening on the 23rd. Salt, tequila, and tacos, baby. It's on. It's on. Hashtag no Buffalo Trace. At least none that Sharon knows about. Just kidding. Wanda, Cruising for Food, says, I always lock up my stuff. Whatever doesn't fit in the room safe goes in the luggage. It has TSA lock. See, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'll put stuff sometimes on the luggage under the bed, but sometimes we'll put a luggage or something inside a luggage and it'll go inside that, and then they're all locked up under there. So, I mean, if someone had to take the time to really go in that, it would take them quite a while to get it. And I think they would be more worried that someone would catch them the time it took them to do it.
I think that most thefts are thefts of opportunity.
Yeah.
When an opportunity presents itself, you grab it. Daniel Fields says, we never had anything stolen, but one time someone did find Nancy's phone and then hold it hostage. I remember that, as a matter of fact. I remember that story. That's crazy.
Wasn't that on the
That was, I forget where that was, but I remember that story. We were on that cruise with them. It's wild. It is wild.
was on the break? Was it the breakaway?
It might have been. MJ said 55 plus cruises. Wow, that's awesome. Well, it's been a while. We've been cruising for 20 years. 2 years before Matthew was born.
Yeah, 21 years. Yeah.
21 years. So I mean,
was in 2002.
Yeah, I mean, I know there's a lot of people that are making cruise vlogs and channels now, and they're like, yeah, we started cruising in 2018, or we took our first cruise after the pandemic because we got into cruising. We've been cruising for a long time. We enjoy it, and it's part of our livelihoods.
I mean, we
love it.
We used to.
It is our livelihood for Sharon.
Once a year for years, though. We didn't cruise as often, and we didn't start doing vlogs back then either until.
Oh no. And the first couple of vlogs were, oh God. I would love to just go back and delete them, but I guess you got to show people that, yes, you can start anywhere. Your first couple of vlogs can be horrifying, and then you can get better over time, or a little better anyway. Sharon, I mentioned how it's our livelihood. Guys, just a friendly reminder here. If you need to book a cruise, you can contact Sharon, sharonatsea@gmail.com. That's right, sharonatsea, S-E-A, @gmail.com. Send her an email. That is the best way to reach her. I know some of your friends. I know you send her texts or Facebook messages or whatever the case is. That's all fun. But if you want a timely response, if you want her to remember to contact you back, give yourself the best chance to book that cruise as soon as possible, email sharonatsea@gmail.com.
I will see Facebook messages.
That's the ticket.
And texts. But what happens is sometimes I will see them, or sometimes I'll get them later in the evening. But it's too late to really contact someone back. So I'll see them, and what happens with those is the next morning, then I can easily forget, like, oh yeah, I had a Facebook message or a text or something. They're not like highlighted anymore. Whereas my email, even if I notice it, I'll keep it as new so that I will see it the next day, and I'll respond to it a lot quicker. So email is the best best way, whether I'm home, whether I'm cruising or anything, email is the best way to get a hold of me.
Let's see. Wendy Johnstone says, no, Sharon, he needs his gambling money. Don't lock it up. Thank you, Wendy. I appreciate that. Ruth Kringle, what's up, Ruth? How are you? Said, had a roommate lock the safe and didn't remember the number.
Oh, no.
Called customer service about the safe, and they opened it.
Well, that's
Ruth,
good.
that is
Got it
crazy.
open.
Hold on. Let me guess. Was your
No.
roommate's name Chris, by chance? Chris Kringle?
Oh, my gosh.
Sorry. Do I not look a little bit like Chris Kringle right now? I mean, come on, seriously. Ruth, I'm sorry. It's great to see you, but I couldn't resist. I hope you know that we love you.
I'm glad you were able to get your stuff.
That's right.
I would be
True
freaking
Texting
out.
Girl Jay says, what's a good excursion for Freeport? There's not much there, and the reviews on Carnival excursions are not that good. Oh, True Texting
Yeah.
Girl. We haven't been to Freeport in a while.
We haven't, but in the past, we've usually just gone to the beach there, I think,
Okay.
one time we kind of just walked around. But yeah, it's really not one of our favorite ports, but I would say maybe some kind of beach type excursion, something like that.
Let's see. Door decorations sometimes fall off and might be picked up and discarded by cleaning crews at night. Aspen ATC, they could, or even maybe your cabin steward breaks something going in and out of your door, and he just says, "Oh man, I just broke this, so I'm just going to throw it away and pretend it got stolen." Timothy Walters, what's up, brother? Great to see you. Says, wait,
hi,
Jamie
Timothy.
snores? I mean, it's not devastating. I'm not like Larry Bum from Beauty and the Bum Travels type of snoring, but it's not bad. The Chisel has the book under a different name for safety reasons. That's awesome. Scott McNeil, thanks for asking. Matthews College is going great. He's already gone to each one of his classes, and he's enjoying it and doing really well. I think the toughest thing is the 30-minute ride there and back into Phoenix every time. That's a pain in the butt. Something helps you find the door. That's right, especially if you've had a couple of extra cocktails. You definitely need that.
Yeah, that was, you used to like that too.
I did like it because then I didn't. Yeah, I could use, like, if I couldn't see anything, I could just usually feel the door, almost it was like a braille type of a thing. I could be like, that's not mine. That's not mine. Oh, I recognize that. I can feel that. It says sharonatsea, and that would get me in there. That would get me in there. So since they've been cruising with us, they don't mark their door. Well, yeah, I guess you could say that. I don't know. It's a coincidence, Dangerfield, but True Texan Girl Jay, I decorate the door and the room. I'm currently working on crocheting a few ducks to hide. That sounds very, very nice.
Cool.
Very cool. Let's see. You lay low, Jamie, until Matthew leaves his boarding pass behind. Carla McClendon, what's going on? I would crash into a door decoration whenever I came around the corner on my way to the cabin. Said Arguti, what's going on? Nice to see you. Slinky Young Looking is here. She is on the phone. Can't tag. That's okay. By the way, let me say hi to Leanne and Nancy, Nautical Nurse Nancy. Make sure you go check out her YouTube channel for fun family videos. She's wild. She's crazy, especially when she cruises with her best buddy and makes her videos. Sarah from Q's Cruisers and Nancy, the Sancy series. Look for that. And Leanne Francisconi, they're still working on Meet the Francisconis. They haven't put out the pilot episode yet, but I think things are still in the works.
One day.
One day it's going to happen. Meet the Francisconis is going to be out. It's going to be the hottest show on YouTube, basically. Let's see. Oh, it was on the Radiance. That's when they had Nancy's phone. Oh my God, that's crazy.
Right. That's right. Yeah.
That is crazy. Beth Ellinger, what's up, Beth and Doug? Lovely to see you. Can't wait to see you guys in a few weeks. Wait, was Matthew a cruise baby kidder? Yeah, Matthew was cruising. He was one.
He
was one when he went on his first. He was this big on his first cruise.
Yeah, he was 13 months.
Yeah, I mean, the people, it was wild and crazy. I know we have pictures of it. Maybe I can put those back in and show you guys. We haven't done a time machine in quite a while. We should probably do one of those. It's been, I don't know, a year since we did a Sharonatsea travel time machine.
I think he was little. I remember, I think maybe it was his second cruise. I still remember when he got his fingers shut in the cabin door.
Oh my God, that was formal night. And all of our formal night pictures, we're all like this. And Matthew's like this. He's crying. He's like crying. He's got red eyes from tears. Yeah. It was terrible for him.
Yeah, he's been cruising some.
That's right. So he's doing great. He's enjoying school. Callie is rocking. She's in her sophomore year now. at high school. She's doing great. We're so proud of her, and she's starting her year pretty good. She's in the other room. I wanted her to hear that. So that is fabulous as well. Let's see, what else do we have here? People need to make responsible choices on the ship. Follow your instincts. Jamie Wilhite, what's going on? That is so right, and it's so true. We talked about, like, a lot of these. Obviously our topic tonight is are you safe on the cruise ship? Making good decisions is the best thing you can do. I don't know what you got. What else do you guys? Let us know in the comments, and we'll read through some of them. What do you do? Do you pay attention to safety? Are you aware of it? Do you just go with the flow and not pay attention? How do you react to it? But I know some of the things that we talked about are there can be challenges for people. If there is crime and something like that, investigations are difficult to do. Retaining evidence is difficult to do. Relying on the people on the cruise ship versus land-based law enforcement to research things can be challenging as well. So that's always hard. Prompt attention to issues that are brought up and stuff like that. But at the same time, while that's a challenge, I think also we were talking about how everything nowadays is all recorded. Yeah. Everyone records everything now on your phone, so you seem to have video evidence of everything that happens nowadays.
If you don't, there's probably someone else out there filming something if they see something going on.
So hopefully that's good. Hopefully people are thinking, oh man, I better not do that.
There's cameras on the ships, on the sides.
You get busted easily.
On the elevators, just about everywhere, except for the cabins. At least hopefully not in the cabins.
There you go. So those are things, that are going to affect reporting of crimes and things of that nature. We talked about the different amounts and how accurate they are, but it is what it is. There's not much you can do about it but to be careful. But how can you cruise safer? Obviously be aware, use your awareness. Don't get into awkward situations with strangers. Stay with a buddy. Use the buddy program, right? That kind of thing. Whenever you can. And if you're in a weird situation, just get out of it. Just walk away. Don't talk to somebody. If you roll up to somebody who's hammered, just walk away from them. Don't engage them if they're being a smart aleck, if they're being rude, obnoxious, or whatever. Just walk away. You can do it. There's plenty of places to go, including your cabin, or find a security guard or whatever on a cruise ship, so you can do that. We talked a little bit about personal belongings. Keep them hidden.
Yeah.
I know for us, even when it comes down to something as simple as cash, right?
Mm-hmm. Another thing is, one thing we do, we never have, just one of us doesn't always carry all the cash. I know sometimes couples, one person's in charge of the cash, the other one doesn't have any half the time. I've seen that happen before. And you should always split the cash up. Both people have some cash, and then always put it in multiple places. Don't just keep all your cash in one place, like in your wallet. Have it in your wallet, some of it in a couple different areas, somewhere in your luggage or somewhere in your room, the safe, wherever, but just have it in different areas. So if something does happen, it's not all of your cash that's gone at once.
That's right. They only steal a little at a time, and you still have some money for gambling and cocktails to pay your bill later. Let's see. Neela Beckel says, thanks, Sharon, for answering my emails today. A few people responding to when I mentioned your email. So that's right. Sharonatsea Travel, the universe's #1 travel agent. Kevin Brubaker, that's very nice of you to say, but that's a little over the top. I mean, North America's travel agent is perfectly fine. I know some people hate that. I've read online in some different forums that people think that's just ridiculous. Who do they think they are? North America's... Come on, guys. It's just for fun. Have some fun. Let's see. James Christian says, some of you guys need to come to the Caymans. Beautiful diving with the stingrays. Go to Bloody Bay Well. It's a must. James, thanks for the invite. We appreciate that. Yeah, I think Cayman Islands are open nowadays, so we ought to be good to go.
Yeah, we've been there a few times, and it's beautiful there. Most of the time we do just go to the beach there.
How we cruise, safety is no different on a ship than on shore. Be aware, be alert, don't be stupid. I think Brian from How We Cruise knows a little bit about safety. So yeah, that's it. You just have to be aware. I mean, a cruise ship is a small city. You got people from every walk of life going on a cruise ship. Now, one thing is maybe keep away from the booze cruises, those 2-day, 3-day cruises. Those are usually filled with some pretty raucous people. If you're not a party animal, keep away from that type of deal. We talked about separating your belongings and all that. So, just be aware, pay attention, and make good decisions, and watch the booze. If you're going to get hammered, Not that I know anything about that, but if you are, be with friends, and so somebody can keep keep an eye on you. That's all. Cover or watch your drinks. Spiker's Crazy Adventures. Great point.
Yeah.
Keep an eye on your drink. Don't let somebody put a little something in there, and you never know what's going to happen. You never know. Sharon, what are you looking for?
I was looking at it. Jumped here, so I was just going back a little bit.
How far back do you want to go?
Not too far back.
Guys, when Sharon grabs the mouse, I start to get a little nervous. My heart palpitates a little bit. Yes, you can. Oh, Nautical Nurse Nancy said, don't forget you can use 911 from the ship's phone if there's an emergency. There are phones located around the ship, so that's very, very good. Very, very cool.
Yeah. True Texan Girl says, I'm going to catch the Jubilee. Leave in person on 12/23 from Galveston. Yeah.
Oh, that'll be great to check that out, just to watch it leave, and that'll be awesome.
Yeah.
I always make sure my cocktail is safe and secure, said Roger Johnson. I know you do. It's right about here in your hand. Easy to drink, easy to pour, and easy to keep an eye on. Let's see. What's up, Retro Sarge? Nice to see you. Jimmy Jaggers is doing the Congress Spirit on a 14-day cruise to Alaska. Sounds very cool. Let's see. Let me jump ahead. I eat tacos. That's an amazing deterrent and keeps people away. Listen, sounds and odors are going to be fine too, Kim Brubaker. If that keeps you a little bit safer, that's fine. Parents also need to be mindful of where the kids are. Probably the scariest thing we've gone through is when we finally let Matthew, you mentioned something about that earlier, when we finally let Matthew check himself in and out of the kids' clubs.
Yeah.
That was a little nerve-wracking.
Yeah,
that was nerve-wracking.
I remember, like telling him to come back to the cabin or, where to meet us. And I'd always make sure I was there ahead of time because I just, I would worry, like, what if he didn't find his way back or something happened on his way back? And after doing that a few times, then everything was good. But, it's always kind of a scary feeling for a parent at first to just think your little one's kind of roaming the ship by themselves.
That's right. Melissa O'Brien, thank you so much for the super chat. Melissa said, always on high alert. I work in a jail. There you go. So you know better. You know better. When are final payments due for the 2023-24 New Year's Eve group cruise?
October 1st.
There you go. Try to do it a few days earlier so especially if October 1st is the weekend.
I think October 1st does fall on a Sunday, but I'll be emailing everyone to see if they want to pay it on Friday or Saturday, only because the groups department actually before Saturday, the groups department with Carnival is not open anymore on weekends since the pandemic. So they haven't started opening again.
Mark Sheen said, so nobody's ever supposed to talk to him. Don't talk to someone hammered. Just kidding. Don't drink much. Mark, it's okay. Don't talk to somebody hammered. You know what I mean. Travel with Kate said, have you all ever been a victim from theft on a cruise? We have not.
No, never.
I can't remember any time that we've had something taken. Now, I think
there's been a couple times at first where maybe like several years ago, we kind of thought maybe we left something or some money was maybe missing, not a large sum or anything.
Yeah.
But then we realized later we just put it somewhere ourselves. We found it and we're like, oh yeah, I forgot I put
That's
it
the
there.
tough thing. If you put
too.
money and stuff in different places, you got to remember where those places are.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get home and you find something in like a pocket liner of your suitcase. You're like, oh dang, I forgot I put that in.
I did that once. I came home and this was months later. I was, I think, getting in the luggage or something to pack something to go somewhere. I actually found $200 bills in there.
$200 bills in the luggage?
Like, I didn't even know I had that.
Well, did you give me one of those? That was my gambling
No,
money.
I must have tucked it away for some, whatever, and just forgot it was there. But yeah.
I hear you. Michael Acevedo says, I just use my Sailor Line card. I never carry big cash, just an amount to tip porters when boarding and leaving. There you go. That'll work too. You can do anything. Yeah. You can do everything on that. Obviously maybe you bring a little cash for when you're off the ship, tipping off the ship, whatever your plans are. But if you prepay or use a credit card with no no fees, hopefully with no foreign transaction
Although we don't
fees.
usually use credit cards like in the Caribbean and Mexico. Usually we just
they
use
like cash.
But in like we went to foreign countries like like Europe or even when we go to Alaska, that's actually in the U.S. Canada, we've used our credit card there.
Yep.
but mostly just the Caribbean.
There
is
you
where we
go.
use cash.
James Christian, we have not done Wonder of the Seas. Hopefully we get to our next big Royal Caribbean cruise. Although,
I don't
if
know.
you watch the live stream lately, Sharon has
I
said
don't-
that might be our last Royal Caribbean
Yeah,
cruise.
well,
Will be Icon of
I
the
think
Seas in
since
March.
we probably won't go on Wonder of the Seas anytime in the near future. Yeah, since we are on Icon of the Seas. But
Lindy Lou says she just puts her money in her bra.
there you
All
go.
right, nothing wrong with that. Lindy Lou. Shane Nordgren, what's going on? Thanks for the super chat. Can I just spend my time in Grand Cayman at the port and still have a good time? Well, yeah, but I mean,
It's a tender port.
yeah, it's a tender port. So you're going to tender in, you're going to get off the tender. And as soon as you get off, you're right in the main town.
Yeah.
And there's bars, restaurants,
Yeah.
shopping right
You can hang
there.
out right there.
It's probably a half mile wide, long,
yeah.
give or take.
I will say
Couple
though,
hundred yards.
Grand Cayman is one of probably some of the things in the port there, the restaurants and even souvenirs. They're maybe a little pricier than some Caribbean ports. It is one of the pricier ports.
That's right. It's one of the most financially stable
It is a very
ports that are out there.
clean port though.
Daniel Field says, we hit a lot of 3-day booze cruises. Oh my God, what's he saying? You know what I'm saying. It's Cruising for Food. Wanda says, I love the 3 to 4 day cruises. I am one of those people. If you're one of those people, that's fine. But if you're concerned about those people, then, there you go. Wendy Johnson said, that's right. Watch out for your drinks. I try to keep my drink nearby, or I like my martinis in a clear glass so I can see if there's anything else that was put in there. I use cash in my Quicksilver card, but I carry 1s, 5s, and 10s only. True technical, good idea. Let's see what else. I found $50 in my winter coat when I wore it for the first time from the previous winter, said Timothy. See that? Boom, cha-ching. $50 extra to spend at the casino or somewhere else.
Kevin Burbaker says, I can't believe how expensive the Icon.
I know, it's ridiculous.
I know, it's
ridiculous.
crazy. It is crazy. I did get my little, I ranted, was it last week or the week before?
Oh, you were complaining about Royal
yeah.
Caribbean. You got that squared away, didn't you?
It's all taken care of now, and they were able to make things right.
But you were the last thing you were told was that you'd be You have to watch the live stream to know what we're talking about. It's a little inside deal. And we're getting ready. We're going to wrap things up here in a few minutes. One last thing we want to talk about before we get out of here.
I had to keep following up myself.
But they were supposed to. The supervisor was supposed to contact you, and they never did.
Well,
and then you had to call them to follow up on it, and then that's when someone said, "Oh yes, it looks like it's been handled."
Yeah, but then the next day after that, I did get a call from the supervisor.
Oh, you did?
I did.
Oh, so I didn't know that. Why don't you tell me these things?
But it was after I knew and everything, and she was just telling me that it was taken care of, but she wasn't very friendly about it. And but anyways, so I'm still down on Royal, but at least I got that situation under control.
Okay, all right. We'll see what happens. We will see what happens.
I'm not booking any Royal cruises.
Marcine, the question
for myself.
St. Martin, in your opinion, what's the way to get to Maho Beach? I can't wait for November. We would tell you if they're still there, Splash in the Sun ATV.
Oh, yeah.
Splash in the Sun ATV. Tell her Sharon at Sea Travel sent you. It's been a long time.
Is her name.
Sherry from Splash in the Sun, and we used her before the pandemic. Had a great experience.
Maybe
and
actually, that just reminded me. When we go on the Icon, we're going to be in St. Martin.
we need to find her.
So maybe that's what we'll do.
We need to look her up. See what she's got cooking. See what she's got cooking. Slinky said, what about she found money in her husband's cargo pants after washing after a cruise? Then it's yours, Slinky. I think that's really
Hey, anything I find in the washing machine is mine. That's how I look at it.
unbelievable. Unbelievable. I guess
It's a
so, because
tip.
you also get my dirty underpants.
It's
So.
a tip for doing the laundry.
It is. It is. Sharon is one gal that gets things done. That's so nice of you, Nancy. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Can Sharon save me money versus a Carnival agent? Jason, that's a tough question because
It really depends on the cruise. Some cruise lines, the prices are just the same as what you see online. There's others, particular sailings where there's groups, not always my groups, but the agency I work through has group space held on a lot of different cruises, and sometimes I can plug you into one of those groups, which will save you money. And that happens a lot on Princess and Holland America. They have a lot of like groups on those.
Yes.
Royal Caribbean, they have groups on sometimes too.
So I think the answer to the question is not always,
Not-
but if there's an opportunity
Yeah.
to do it, or maybe if you're flexible with exactly when you want to cruise, there's more of a chance of something like that potentially happening. But what she can offer you is personalized service while you support a small local business, and she'll take equal to or better care than any PVP you're going to talk to. I know there's some awesome
Wow.
PVPs out there.
Wow,
But she also, her business hours are far extended from 8 to 5 Monday through Friday. So that's kind of nice as well. So there you have it. There you have it. If you book a cruise and within a week you can switch it to Sharon, I did, said True Texan Girl J. That's a true statement.
Yeah,
that is a
each
true
cruise
statement.
line, if you book it, you can always transfer it to me. Each cruise line has a different amount of days you have to transfer it. So just keep in mind, I think Norwegian, they had changed to like 14 days now. A lot of them are 30 days. Carnival's a little longer. So, but just if you want to do that, just contact me, within a couple days after you booked it. So to get it transferred.
That's right. That is right. And yeah, Aspen ATC mentioned for the Maho Beach in St. Martin, take a taxi. Follow the signs for the taxi stand. Tell them you want to go to Maho Beach. You pay for the round trip, and they give you a colored wristband. Mm-hmm. That's cool because they have the beach there. They have restaurant, bar there. They got everything you need to hang out and have a great day. So you can sit on the beach. You can sit in the shade, on a table, eat, drink, and be merry. Do you recommend Carnival Liberty? Yeah. We love Carnival Liberty.
Yeah, we went on the Liberty. It was years ago, actually. I want to say it was like 2005. I think we went on the Liberty. So it's been a long time. But we've been on all the Conquest class ships, and we always had a good time.
Let's see. And also, any advice on growing a travel channel? All right, Travel with Kate. I'll give you two things.
Consistency is a big one.
Put out content as regularly as you can. Okay. And you'll learn things about thumbnails and analytics and all that stuff. Maybe that even comes a little bit later. And also, when you're trying to grow your channel, find organic and new different places where you can post. And if you join a group, if you join someone else's cruising community or a Facebook group or something, before you just go in there and post your stuff, send a message to an admin or a moderator. And if you have content that has something to do with the Facebook group that you're asking to join or that you're a part of, ask if it's okay if you share your content within your group. Quite often, if you ask, they will be happy to let you share. And that way you're not just somebody barging into a group and posting your stuff without getting the okay, because the reality is when you do that, nobody watches it, nobody likes it, nobody in the group likes to see some stranger come in and post their stuff thinking that it's going to help grow their channel because it works
out of the group too.
Or they'll kick you right out of the group.
But yeah,
follow the rules of the groups on Facebook. But that's a great place to share your content.
New places to share things, and also I think consistency is the biggest key.
Yeah.
Try to put stuff out maybe even the same days every week around that same time. That's
Galveston versus New Orleans thoughts. Jason Ball, Galveston all day and every day.
Always Galveston.
Always Galveston. We're not fans of cruising out of New Orleans. No. If you like the city, then that's cool. But we don't love New Orleans. Bourbon Street is just not our jam. It's just insane. Drunk walking in puke is not a good time for us, and we're not really that big
Galveston.
Party late night people.
I love down by the water there. It's beautiful. It's mellow. You can walk around. Yeah,
you got the ocean on one side, you got the bay, good times, good people. Whatever.
Downside to Galveston is the distance from the airport to the cruise port. It is.
See the world with Chris. I think your comment is based on someone else out there in the cruising community by the name of Al Repera, I think is his name that you're talking about. If you invite me into your group, I should be able to post in it. He said, no, not you. If you invite me into your group.
Slinky said, Galveston any day.
Let's see. Michael Acevedo said, I have people want to put stuff about travel agents info in my Facebook group. I keep declining it in my group about the Venezia ship. Yeah, man, just what you got to pay attention. Even with our 50,000 member Cruising Carnival with Kids group that we have. And by the way, if you're into cruising with kids, join that group. Come in and say hi. And But we get people all the time. They're a travel agent. They're this and they're this. We barely even advertise in there because we're not trying to turn people off with just constant advertising. It just happens. It's just part of the deal.
I mean, we put a couple things in there, but we rarely even talk about our YouTube channel or anything in there. It's just we started that group just for to help families with kids back when Matthew was younger, and that's what we started for, and we've always kind of kept it that way.
Daniel Fields posted all of his vlogs to the SAST page. I know you have, and we loved every none of them that you posted. Nancy loves New Orleans, but it takes a while to get out to see. Listen, the view. Maybe there's like a minute where you're leaving the city that you're like, okay, this is cool, and then it's just a muddy, long, drawn-out ride.
I know some people love going down the Mississippi that way and all that. I don't know. I just never found anything interesting about it to me.
Crazy Cat Travel said also, Jamie might reject your Facebook joining if you use your real name as opposed to your secret identity. I think I did that with you. I'm so sorry about that. I had no idea. We should really try Virgin, said Beverly Juca. You never know. I just don't. I'm not sure if that's our environment. And that's really the only thing I can say about that. I'm sorry. Big G and Snuggles in the house. What's up, guys?
We'll be on that ship eventually.
All right, we're going to be seeing Big G and Snuggles soon. I can't wait to see that. What do you think the Panama Canal cruise, Jason Ball? I think it's a great time. It's got to be a great experience if you can do it once. We tried to do it once and our cruise got canceled. We were supposed to do it with Alita Locust.
So we'll book that one again one of these days.
That's right. All right, listen, I'm going to jump out of the chat, guys, because before we get out of here, there is one thing that we want to talk about. And if you've been with the channel, is right? I mean, is it okay? Can I talk about that now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
All right. If you've been with the channel, if you've been within the cruising community on a couple channels, then you've gotten to know people. And obviously, when you know this many people and there's people within our community, things happen and they're out of our control, and you just try to do the best that you can. Let me just make sure that person is here. Yes, he is. So anyway, as you know, we've been lucky enough to make, much more than acquaintances. We've made friends with, we've gotten to know people. They're part of our cruising community, part of our cruising family. We've met people in real life and created real relationships with these people, and so you get to know people over time, and sometimes not all the news is great.
Right.
And so we've got some news about a dear friend of ours that's not that great, and we just wanted to share it a little bit here with you guys. And we'll just come right out and say it. We've got a dear friend of ours, Mr. Timothy Walters. I know he's out there right now, and I've been in touch with him a little bit lately, and we've been keeping tabs with him. But Timothy's not doing well. He's a little bit sick, or he's a lot sick. So I'll just tell you a little bit about the story, and many of you know him, and you know the name, and some of you may be aware, and some of you it might be a shock. So sorry to drop this on you like this, but we talked to him, and he said, fine, if you want to share it, please go right ahead. And so anyway, but back in May, Timothy wasn't feeling that good, and he decided to go get checked for COVID. Luckily, it came back negative, but he still continued to not really feel good. So he went back to the doctor and had a bunch of tests done, including x-rays and things, and they found a couple of cysts on his lung. And so they gave him a barrage of tests, blood work, the whole 9 yards, a biopsy and everything. And he was found to have a couple of cysts or a couple of tumors. He was found to have lung cancer. So, so recently, I think maybe around 2 months ago, he started a pretty aggressive round of chemotherapy that unfortunately, once it got done and he did his tests, it didn't help. It didn't shrink the tumors. It didn't get rid of the cancer. He's gone back in for some more very aggressive battery of chemo, radiation, and all that kind of stuff. And he's putting up a good fight. And so just let him know that we love him. We're thinking about you.
We love you, Timothy.
We hope good things work out for you, brother. So we're here for you. We couldn't be happier to have you as part of our family in our group here for quite a while. So I know a lot of you know him. I see the comments now. No need to read them. He's seeing them right now. So if you want to say something to him, contact him. Check him out on Facebook, Timothy Walters. Shoot him a Facebook message, and you know, obviously, I don't know. He can post what he wants in our group. He can share what he wants. He can be as private as he wants. But we talked about sharing this, so just want to let you guys know what's happening with a dear friend of ours. Man, we love him. For years, he's been a follower, a supporter of us, and we can't thank him enough. So
it's been around since the beginning, pretty much.
So, oh yes, he's definitely been, like, I'm not sure there's a name that's followed us longer than Timothy. Wow, I made it. I made it through that. Oh my God, the tissue right over here, in case I couldn't pull it off, but I made it. So that's it. And you know, we thought about, you know, Timothy knew we were going to mention this tonight. We talked about it, and I was like, hey, let's mention it towards the end of the live stream, because I don't want to. I don't know that I could mention it in the beginning of it and go on from there. So yeah, I see the comments. You're right. You know, Leanne saying you got to Timothy. He's been one of the most generous souls. He really is. He's an OG in the community. Yeah, he says, I'm fighting the fight. That's all you can do, brother. You can fight the fight. And I also know that your Green Bay Packers fought the fight, and they won Jordan Love's first game as QB. So I know that probably put a smile on your face. But that's the deal. So I don't know. I guess this is ending up on a sad note, but it's also ending up on a note of a lot of love and appreciation for Timothy, and we're all thinking of everybody. So we'll keep things. We'll keep everyone posted. Anything he wants to share, he can do it. We can do it for him or whatever. But man, that's the deal. So
we're thinking of you, Timothy. Yeah. We're praying for you. So
yes.
Keep on fighting.
There you go. There you go. So so that's the deal. So boy, I guess that's it, huh?
Guess so.
Boy, is that a way to end the live stream or what? Holy mackerel. Holy mackerel. Beverly, yeah. If you got any questions for Sharon, shoot her an email. Beverly said, will you contact us when it's time to pay more on our 2024 cruise? Well, Sharon usually contacts you when it's final payment time. If you want to pay more, you can reach out to her. But
I will always contact you a couple of weeks before the final payment's due. But if you want to pay before then, just shoot me an email. Let me know you want to make a payment, and I will contact you.
Carla McClendon says, I learned what I learned tonight. I learned that we all love Timothy Walters. Timothy said, don't be sad, everyone. It ain't got me yet. Yeah, he's a fighter. He's going to put up a dogfight. Ending on a note of hope. Thank you very much, MJ. That's very nice. There's strength in numbers and positive thoughts go a long way. That's right, Richard Zellner. And Timothy's got all our love tonight. So, Timothy, I don't know, man. You know, when you close your eyes tonight, just know there's a lot of people thinking of you and loving you, bro. So, good luck to you. Keep on fighting. And that's it, huh?
Yeah.
All right. So, guys, that's it. Good night. Prayers for Timothy. And thank you for watching the live stream. We hope you enjoyed it. We're trying to come up with some topics for the live stream as opposed to just the ramblings on of two crazy cruisers. And we should be back. We'll be back next week.
Yeah, we'll be back
next week. And keep in mind that Saturday the 23rd, we got our get-together. We'll talk more about that next week. Right here in Glendale at Westgate. Stop by and say hi, have a drink, do some shopping, have some fun, go to a concert nearby, whatever's going on, and that's it. So we love you guys. From all of us here at Sharonatsea Travel, from me, from Sharon, from Lucy, from Matthew, from Callie, from Leanne, from Nautical Nurse Nancy, from Timothy Walters, and from everyone here at Sharonatsea Travel.
Good night, everyone, and we'll see you next week.
We will see you next week. Everybody, peace out. We love you.